The Voge 300 Rally is basically a cheat code. It lets you jump in the off-road bike rally world without dropping premium off-road bike money.
Oh yeah, it will jump.
Welcome to MCC Just Motos. About a month ago, I was asked to test ride a review of Voge 300 Rally, a lightweight dual sport motorcycle that's getting a lot of buzz. For me, this kind of thing is just part of my motovlogger life. But after riding it and thinking about really what it has to offer, something about it just clicked. Sure, it has a couple rough edges, but what motorcycle doesn't? What makes this bike interesting is what it represents. The 300 Rally is a snapshot of where the motorsport industry is headed. New Chinese and Indian brands are stepping into the spotlight with legit bikes. And they're selling them to riders who didn't even realize they were hungry for alternatives to their big traditional names. These companies are going to battle it out for brand recognition, better tech, and market share, and I'm confident some of them are going to become long-term players. And you know what? We've seen this story before. Japanese brands in the 60s and 70s, Korean automakers in the 90s and 2000s, they all started as outsiders too. The big question is, will the Voge be one of those winners? Let's dig into this budget-friendly rally bike because I actually think it deserves a shot. All right, let's start with the part that everyone pretends they don't care about, but absolutely does, the spec sheet. Like it or not, the numbers matter, especially when you're looking at a bike from a brand with almost zero name recognition. But at some point, you got to compare it to the standard in the class, the Honda CRF300L, or the benchmark, the Honda CRF300 Rally, and a few things jump out immediately. First, the Voge 300 Rally belongs in the same category as a Honda 300 Rally, not the base 300L. And surprisingly, it comes with some extras that Honda doesn't. Engine guards, hand guards, and rear rack are included. Second is the price. The Voge is more than $800 cheaper than the Honda 300 Rally, and it even undercuts the cheaper CRF 300L. Third, suspension travel. Both Hondas have almost 2 inches of extra travel. I'll talk about that actually feels in my riding review, but honestly, it's not a big difference as you might expect. Ground clearance is basically the same, right around 11 inches across all 3 bikes. And that's really the big stuff. Those are the meaningful differences in a nutshell. So then the next question becomes, how does a Voge 300 Rally even ride? Because this is a 2-step process most buyers actually go through. They compare the specs, they compare the ride, then decide if the bargain brand is worth it. So with that, let's jump into the part that you really care about.
Hey guys, Andy from MCC Just Motos. I'm here in Pembroke, Virginia at Gearhead Junction. I'm gonna ride today the Voge Rally 300 Rally. Pretty excited. It's a new bike, new line that they're carrying here at Gearhead Junction. I'm gonna walk around the bike and just tell you all about it and tell you my first thoughts.
I'm gonna get on the Voge 300 Rally. It is in the same competitor space as the Honda 300 CRF, I think, CRF300, something like that. I'll put exactly what it is. So the specs, I'm not gonna lie, I had to Google a bit of them. It's 28.6 horsepower and about 20 foot-pounds of torque, 4-stroke, a 20-inch tire. Is it an 18-inch rear? I think, yeah, 18-inch rear. And I'm just gonna go for a spin. I just sat on it. I'm 5'9" and a half, 30-inch inseam, and the bike feels really nicely suspended. What I can say is it comes with the rear rack, it comes with the brush guards, it comes with the front crash protectors, 50/50 tires, it looks like, full rack, LCD display, color LCD display, and looks like it has a USB-A in there. Okay, little windshield action, and yeah, it's pretty tall to get on, but not terrible. Again, I have a 30-inch inseam. I can tiptoe on this guy. Let's turn it on. Okay, sounds pretty mild, to be honest with you. Oh, look at the exhaust is way up there, so not bad. All right, there it is. Started real easy. We'll head on there. All right, so just getting on. It's a pretty tall up step to get on here, and you just got to use all your weight to get on here. And it feels like a kind of a bigger dirt bike. Enduro space here. Definitely in the enduro feel. And we're gonna go just around the parking lot. Oh, easy clutch engagement for sure. Oh, there is my friend. He might come ride with me. So I think you might have to go get a bite to eat. I'm just doing some figure eights in the parking lot. Man, this thing is nimble. Woo! Is this thing nimble? All right, let's do a Oh yeah, it will jump. I'm in 3rd gear. This big 21-inch wheel just really takes the bumps pretty easy. All right. Whew. It is nimble. Oh yeah, for sure. Really easy. I like it. I gotta realize this is not my bike, so I gotta take it a little more simple, a little nice. It has very the gearing on it's pretty nice geared, so I can really just use power engine braking to descent without using the brake a lot. And here, even just going down a hill, look at that. Let's give my little dirt pre-test track here. How's it feel in the gravel? Pretty good. Oh yeah. Got to get used to the shifter. It is a little weird. Just in close. All right, so it feels pretty mild. Feels very capable. The 21-inch wheel wants to float over stuff. Suspension feels good. And here we go. Oh wow, it just took those bumps really nicely. Yeah, I like it. All right, so let me put it on parking lot duties here for a second, and then we will go for a little bit longer of a ride. All right, get a little bit of a wheelie out of it. Not terrible. All right, so it seems really quiet and tame. I gotta be honest, it sounds really quiet. All right, here we go. Woo! All right, so right off the bat, yeah, I'm giving it a lot of gas, and it's not very quick. It is a 6-speed. No, is it? It says 4th gear. That can't be right. It is not. It is not 4-speed. Oh, the gauge is not working. That's why. There we go. All right, super nimble. 1, 2. 3. Yeah, so I got to tell you right now, the gauges aren't working, and I might be at low gas. So we'll just go for a little road focus spin on this bike. Very nimble. It tightens up a little bit at speed. That's okay. These road 50/50 tires aren't really detrimental to the road here. The road tires aren't detrimental to road spinning, but man, just in these quick tight turns, it feels nice. And a nice wide handlebar, very easy to leverage. Downshift goes good. Yeah, feels like a very, very nice and mellow road friend. Giving it the gas, and it doesn't really want to go too much, but very mellow, very smooth power. I'd say as far as horsepower and torque, it seems like there's a little spin up on high RPM power. I say higher RPM power, but it is a little, I think it's more oriented mid-range and low range on the power on this thing. Wind is not a thing on this. It feels very, very protected with this windshield. It's thin, but it is really protecting on my chest. Turn-in is nice. And the road portion of this, I think I'd call it successful. As far as a small bore ADV, it feels pretty good. Let's see. All right, here we go. We're gonna go on some gravel here. Nothing major, because I do have a riding partner with me. And just on country roads like this, I think this bike is soaking up these bumps. There's a big bump. Woo! All right, he did okay. So yeah, it's soaking up the bumps. I like this front suspension. The rear seems good too. and going over them's pretty good. The nimbleness on the gravel seems to continue. I don't feel out of sorts at all. Front end feels pretty connected with these 50/50 tires on the gravel roads. Would I take this single track? Maybe. Maybe. It seems nimble enough. It doesn't have a ton of power. All right, but yeah, I'm getting a little taste of gravel on this. It is pretty easy. I can stand up really well. I feel very confident on this bike. I think you could do some single track on it. It feels very nimble. The power's not gonna scare anybody at all. It's tall enough where you know, I think it could take a lot of the bumps. I think it has a lot of suspension travel for its size. And it's agile enough. All right, so here we go. Oh, the seat's very comfy. I'm really surprised. My hip to foot peg ratio, it sits a little more back than what I'm used to for like an adventure bike. You're a little bit more tucked up, but extremely comfy on the foot to hip ratio. And your feet are definitely tucked up a little bit more, but it's actually the seating position, the riding triangle is really nice. The handlebars come way back, which makes it very nice, and also to stand up on. It gives you some good feel on standing up. So yeah, and I just don't feel much wind at all. As far as road feel, a little, there's not much. And right now there's not much torque to pull you out. Have to downshift, and that's why there you go. That's why it has such low gearing, because it's trying to take advantage of the limited power it has. Yeah, not a screamer. Not a screamer. All right, here we go. Yeah, it has a tall first gear. What, that's a 10,000 RPM redline? Wow. I can't keep up with that bike. There it is, Himalayan just smoking this bike, and I'm going as fast as I can. Oh man. I think, yeah. All right, so what do I think?
My main riding impressions in a nutshell. Comfy seat and outstanding riding position, both seated and standing up. It's tall, agile, thin, and pretty lightweight. This is a perfect companion for mid-level single track and backroad adventure routes. On-road manners are predictable and fun, not a lot of dive or jounce, but it's not meant to be a sport bike in feel either. No dual sport is. The power is mild, smooth, and linear. Very good clutch feel and fine brakes. It has extremely low gearing. This allows the bike to very slowly creep along both up and down the trail. I think it might be a bit too low, honestly. Because the gearing is lower, you're changing gears often, and top speed is maybe in the mid-60s before the bike gets pretty buzzy. An inexpensive sprocket change would be the perfect first mod. Gearhead Junction has done this on their bikes, and it makes the bikes faster and less buzzy on the highway while not taking anything away off-road. Fit and finish seem good, but not quite up to Honda standards. On my bike, the gear indicator would not show past 4th gear. I'm guessing this is a small fix to address.
Will it compete with the Honda? I absolutely think so.
So is the Voge 300 Rally for you? Well, it's one heck of a bargain and punches well above its weight. So check out Gearhead Junction to take a look at this bike. Tell them MCC Just Moto sent you. You'll get one heck of a deal. Alright guys, I appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next episode.